My mom gave me a deadline to get married. My boyfriend, 27M, and I, 28F, have been together for 3 years and bought a house together last year. My mom gets super agitated over the fact that we aren't married yet. And in a recent phone call, she became pushier than she's ever been. In her opinion, we were supposed to get married last year, right after moving out together. In the end, she basically said, "You're turning 29 soon. Tell your boyfriend you have to get married by the end of this year at the latest." Now, I'm really not loving the idea of forcing a proposal. My boyfriend and I have already agreed we both want to get married. And he has already said he has some plans in mind about how he wants to propose. I obviously want him to keep the details a secret. I love surprises. So I don't know when exactly he plans to propose. It may not be as soon as this year. No matter how many times I tell my mom that we want to do this our way, she insists that her way is correct. I know she's getting pressure from our conservative Christian relatives, and this makes her uncomfortable. But I don't see her discomfort as a good reason to get married this year. My mom and I are really close, and normally she is a lovely person. So I don't want to do anything drastic like cutting off communication. But I am getting exhausted hearing this kind of talk from her over and over again. My main dilemma is whether I should even tell my boyfriend what has been happening. He vaguely knows that my mom's been nagging me, but he doesn't know exactly what she said. I don't want him to feel pressured or cause tension between him and my mom. And I certainly don't want him to rush into proposing just because my mom says so. On the other hand, I don't want him to be blindsided if my mom brings it up to him and starts trying to pressure him directly. Should I tell him what's been going on? Or would that make things worse? TL. Doctor. My mom told me that I have to get married by the end of this year at the latest. Should I let my boyfriend know what she's been saying? To give him a heads up, in case she tries to pressure him directly? Or would telling him cause more tension and stress? Every time she brings it up, "Mom, we're going to do this on our own timeline. Please don't bring it up." Then, when she continues, "I've asked you to stop and you're not. So I'm going to go now. Goodbye." Repeat until she either stops or you no longer talk to her. It's up to her. Tell your boyfriend that your mom is being unreasonable, but you set boundaries. Ask him to let you know if she says anything to him so you can deal with her directly. This is your life, not her life. So the only timetables which matter are yours and your boyfriend's. Why the fuck would you care if done aunts and cousins are in whatever kind of tizzy? They're crazy isn't your problem. If you two were happy, make your own schedules and tell her to mind her own business. Tell your mom you're giving her a deadline of yesterday to shut up and mind her business. If she fails to comply, contact will reduce greatly. You're 28 years old, you've got to stop letting your mom push you around like this. Why are you even letting your mother keep telling you this? Hang up on her then and there if she can't cut it out. The first time she brings it up in any given conversation, firmly assert your boundary, e.g., "Mom, that's between me and my BF. We will decide our own timeline." Each time she brings it up after that, just laugh at her and change the subject. But if she won't let it drop, enforce your boundary, e.g., "Okay mom, well it was nice talking to you but that's not up for debate, so I am going to go now," and end the convo. If you talk about it to him, that's fine, just don't make it sound like you think it's on him to respond. Or change it. No hand banana, no. Don't tell him all the details, but bring up causally that the nagging has increased lately. If you give him all of the details, could make him feel inadequate in the eyes of your mom and could introduce tension between him and your mom. It will also mean that when he does propose, you'll wonder if it's because of what your mom said or not. It sounds like you're also a little nervous about the delay. Perhaps you can bring it up with him again and talk about vague timelines, not exact details, so that it's still a surprise. You could also suggest to go ring shopping with him because he may be nervous about finding a ring that you like, knowing your ring size, etc. You don't have to actually pick the ring you want out of, you want him to choose it. But knowing things like, "I don't like rings like that," and, "Ooh, that style is beautiful," could help with easing those nerves and help him be confident enough to take the step. Yes. Tell him, assuming that one day in the future you two will actually get married. She will be his family. So it's almost kind of an obligation for you to let him know what he's getting into here. Plus, you're right. She could pressure him directly and it would be unfair to him not to prepare him. 100% tell him emo. He should know what's going on and you should be skilled enough to ease any pressure. Tell him, because if you do plan on being with him for the foreseeable future, married or not, then you and he need to be a team. He can't have your back if he doesn't know what's going on. As to what you should do about your mom, I have no idea. I'd tell her to fuck off personally, but I don't get the vibe that that's your thing, haha. How is this even a thing? You're a grown adult, my guy. Maybe stop letting your mom push you around. Tell your mom to mind her business and your relationship is yours and your boyfriend's and not hers. If I were your mom, I'd be super worried about you buying property with someone you have no legal ties to beyond said property. If you'd come here asking for advice, that everyone would have told you it's a terrible idea. So it's understandable your mom feels the same and wants you to rectify it. As for telling your boyfriend, communication is always better. If there's something you're not sure about telling him, always default to communicating. If marriage is something you're interested in happening soon, communicate that as well. You should be able to have a conversation without feeling like you're pressuring him if this is someone you're so committed to that you bought a house with him. Got a house together before marriage? Yikes. You need to think more about that than marriage, honestly. Definitely tell your so. In the long run, it's both of you who's going to be together and get married, not your mom. Don't let someone dictate you on how you want to achieve milestones in life. Yes, family's opinion are welcome but should be taken with a grain of salt. Don't get peer pressured by your family when you both already have plans regarding getting married. I dunno. It might make him wonder about ever marrying you. Most people don't want to marry into crazy. Particularly where you say the two of you are so close. You are in the most dire need of setting and enforcing boundaries with your mother. This level of control at your age is very, very unhealthy. It's time for you to put your foot down and get some proper separation as an adult woman. This is super inappropriate. My boyfriend and I also own a home together. No kids. Both in our early 30s and have been together 7 years. We may or may not get married at some point. Both of our parents kept asking when we'd get married after living together a few years. We'd always make ridiculous jokes about it and now we never get asked. On the surface, it's probably not a big deal to tell your boyfriend. But think of the precedence you're setting if you let her dictate your engagement. You're telling your mom and your boyfriend that your mom's input will always have priority over what you and your boyfriend as a couple decide. There will be 3 people with controlling roles in your relationship when there should only be 2. This is not okay. I'm sorry. Do not rush. No reason to. My mom, my sister and I were all divorced by 27. So marrying youngish, does not equal always picking the right person either.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.